Hello, Tom Kosnick, founding partner of the Vices Group, here with Mark Agostinelli, Executive Vice President for the Davis Companies. Mark, welcome.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you having me on.
Mark, tell us about the Davis Companies.
Oh, yes, the Davis Companies is a Boston-based staffing firm, mainly focused on engineering, IT, and manufacturing roles. And we also have a on-site MSP programs that we operate for some of our larger customers. And today we have people working in about 40 states.
Wow, nice. And you're headquartered out of the Boston area.
Yes, just west of Boston, about
Well,
30 miles west.
well, Mark, I know that the Davis Companies, and you were a significant person that assisted with this project, went through a top to bottom compensation change within your organization. Tell us how any best practices on doing comp changes within a staffing company.
Yeah, I mean, I think ask for help would be number one. I think doing it alone is probably not the smartest move because you need to get data and start with benchmarking. We did lean on Vices Group and Tom to help us get some benchmarking because we didn't want to just make sure that we aligned the compensation. We had goals internally if we wanted our people to get paid at the top end of our industry. That was important to us for our future plans. So we started with real data, and then we said, what were our goals? I just shared one of them with you. Other goals for us were aligning the way the P&Ls work and making sure certain business units were taken care of. And then from there, we really kind of locked down in a room and hunker down and try to bang out as much of it together, because when you're doing comp plans at different levels, they are all interrelated, especially if you're trying to drop certain margin goals, certain EBITDA goals to the bottom line. You really need to make sure, you can adjust one and it has a effect on others. So I think by doing it, getting all the parties that need to be participating in it in a room in a day is probably the best way to do that heavy lifting. And then from there, communication is key. I would say one thing I think we did a good job of is we started communicating that there were going to be comp plan changes earlier on, even before we locked down in that room together, to let people know it's coming and to take away some of the fear factor of like, oh, how is my comp plan going to change? And in true Davis fashion, we're like, it's not going to go down. It's just we need to make sure that things are aligned for the business goals that we want to achieve, which is directly correlating to career paths, etc. So I think communicating it all through the process was very helpful, because then it's not just one large change event. It's kind of, steering it over the course of time. So that was how we handled it.
I think most business owners would rather go get a root canal than make a compensation change in their companies.
It's an exhausting thing because it's so important to people, right? I mean, their wallets
Yep.
are what matter, and so it's a daunting task. But I think one other thing we did was, especially with our leadership teams, they were in on it. They weren't maybe in the room locked down with us, but as there were iterations, we after that lockdown session, we probably got to about 85% of the way there through. That last 15% was participatory. Like we leaned on our teams a little bit to get their feedback and their watch out. So they were part of the process. I'm a big Dale Carnegie, people believe in a world they create, because it's worked for me. So I think that was part of that communication strategy and worked out pretty well.
Fantastic. Mark, compensation change. What one piece of wisdom would you like to leave with our listeners?
Oh, one piece of wisdom. I think as I've gone throughout my career, one thing I've realized is I spent probably too much time early on in my career just working on business, Mark, and I found that the more I spent working on my personal development, my health, and how I eat, and my relationships outside of work, how it has had such a profound effect on my career in a positive manner. So I'd say work on the total you. And document your goals and just get better every day.
Mark Agostinelli, the Executive Vice President of Davis Companies. Mark, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.